हाय अर्चना, कैसे हो आप?
हाय किरण। हाँ बस बढ़िया है, आप बताओ।
मस्त हो रहा है बिल्कुल एकदम। मैं आपको परमिशन देती हूँ मैं स्क्रीन शेयर करने के लिए, सो दैट यू कैन शेयर योर स्क्रीन एंड मी टॉक मोर अबाउट इट बिकॉज वी जस्ट हैव हाफ एन आवर.
यस।
ओके, I'm recording the conversation that we have, and here is the permission. You can share your screen and we can discuss your slides.
ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग एंड सेंडिंग द लिंक। अभी आपको मिला लिंक?
Yes, yes,
हाँ
yeah.
जी।
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
तो
Yes, go ahead, please.
या, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। सो दिस इज बेसिकली माय ऑब्जर्वेशन
Mm-hmm.
from all the knowledge that I have collected.
Mm-hmm.
So the knowledge is there, it will be there before we were born, it will be there after we are gone. ये हमारा कोई नहीं है।
Mm-hmm.
We are
Yep.
just observers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why do we observe? Because we want to learn something and understand something about what it is that we are experiencing.
Exactly. True.
So, ये sequence, I'll tell you why I have put the sequence like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you have DNA.
Yes.
DNA is a very biological thing. उसके बारे में you can obviously go and read any basic science textbook. उसमें आपको मिल जाएगा DNA का सारा information.
Yes.
See how it is made, how it functions. Uska pura biology we
Mm-hmm.
have opened and we have kept it as something part of research for understanding the human body.
Perfect.
So the knowledge that is given by biology or science, ki how things work, it is correct. However, उसे ये नहीं पता चलता है कि what it is doing to us, how can I benefit from this knowledge?
Yes.
So the application of that knowledge was not to my satisfaction. I was very unhappy with what I had studied, but
Mm.
it's not irrelevant.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
later on, when
Before that, Archana, I would like to give a little introduction also about you.
sure, go ahead.
Mhm. Archana studied her MBBS in India. She's a physician basically, but when she came to US, she started as a researcher, and she has about 300 above 300 citations. She's doing now research, and now she is more into spirituality. And I think what I love about her, she tells everything from a practical standpoint, not from a theoretical standpoint. Yes, Archana, go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you for that introduction, Kiranji. That is a very insignificant part of my introduction. It doesn't matter who is this person who's talking
Yeah.
because the knowledge or the information transmission has value.
Mm-hmm.
So let's continue with this slide. So DNA हो गया, behavior हो गया. Now what has spirituality got to do with this and why we are called mankind? हम मनुष्य जाति क्यों कहलाते हैं और हमें
Yes.
spirituality के बारे में क्या पता है?
Mm-hmm.
So basically
Mm-hmm.
from childhood we have understood spirituality as a concept of religion. So we think that whatever religion we are born in, by praying to those gods, we become spiritual or we can attain something called spirituality or better understanding of God. However, one has to understand without understanding your own self and your purpose in nature, you
Mm-hmm.
will never understand the concept of God.
Yes, I agree with you fully. Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
It is independent of whichever religion you are born into. So, if this part one can comprehend, they can start understanding what spirituality or the concept of spirituality, how it exists in the realm of nature. And mankind इसलिए बताया गया है क्योंकि we are all group of organisms and we have inherited a common past. Through our genes, we are tied together, each one of us, whether we accept it or not. So, when we say mankind, we all unite as one and we want to fight battles against each other in the name of religion or whatever reason. So, when there is vested interest, mankind goes down the drain. So, this poor understanding of religion results in destructive spirituality. Nothing good comes out of it. There is no understanding of self nor the laws of nature. So, God, you can forget only. So, let's start
So
further.
I have a question. Basically, you are saying if a person is not able to understand himself or herself, how would they understand the concept of God, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
And understanding yourself is not through who you are, what your name is, what your behavior or characteristics are, all that is not the way to understand. There is another way of understanding. That understanding is the understanding of your own body, how your body is working, what is the place of this body in this nature. We feel that there are millions of people, and I'm like one ant in that ocean. But even that ant has a place on this earth because it is carrying the information of nature inside it. So each individual is carrying, every living organism is carrying this information which nature has packed into us as DNA, and we are transmitting it. We are carriers of that information. So in this lifetime, when we are aware and alive, we are experiencing that small part of information for a very brief moment. And we are experiencing it only and only through our body. If we didn't have this body, we would have never experienced any of it. So consciousness comes only in a live body. This is basically the purpose of nature for us. How we understand nature, that is individualistic. So first thing I'm saying is living organism. How does a living organism know it's living or it's aware? Or we can observe that one thing is living or not. A stone is not living because it is not interacting with the environment in a visible way. Over a long period of time, it may interact and have different changes in it. It changes shape, it changes place, everything, but there is nothing lively about it. A living organism is constantly interacting with the external environment that we call interaction. And it is able to do so because it has a sensory system. Every organism, whether it is animal, plant, or even the microbacteria, they all have a sensory system built into it so that it can sense and do an exchange with the environment. So we'll ask this question, why do the living organisms need to do this exchange with the environment? So the exchange in the environment is done so that the information can be recorded and kept in the form of DNA. So every encounter the organism has with the environment is an experience, जिसको हम अनुभव बोलते हैं. So ये सारे अनुभव हमारे बॉडी के एक हिस्से में बैठ जाते हैं और जिसको हम DNA बोलते हैं. This is our genetic record or books, and we have million and million kilometer long DNA inside each cell of our body. And each of this is an experience of the past. This constant learning through previous generations is what we have inherited from our father, forefather, grandfather, great grandfather. So everything that you are interacting with the environment and experiencing in return is becoming a part of you. You are giving it as an inheritance to your future generations. This is what we say inherited DNA or acquired DNA. What you're experiencing in this one lifetime and making it a part of your own body, it is the changeable or the acquired characteristics. So you're always having two things. Inherited, the DNA that you're born with, which is mostly 99% or above of it. This is very hard to change. And these are what we call the Dhrida Karmas, means you will follow these rules. So these will be your dharma, and that is why you get your dharma from your father and mother.
Okay.
Indirectly,
So
we are
basically,
saying that
this
we are
is something.
genetically inheriting our behavior
Uh-huh.
directly from our father and mother, who have inherited from their father mother, who have. So we are collectively passed on this behavioral thing from millions and millions of births.
Yes, I have a question, Archana.
Yeah.
So basically, you are saying these things inherited, these are apart from our genes, right? These are
These
the
are the
personality.
genes that we have. These are the genes that we have.
Okay, okay.
So, Joe, whatever you express and you behave, for example, I'll say, you can tell from a person's walk, you can recognize and say, oh, this is this person I can recognize. Everybody walks. How come you can distinguish this person and that person even from the back? You don't need to see the face every time, no? Even from the back of the head, you can recognize, oh, this is my friend, so and so, this is my friend. Even from the voice, you can recognize, oh, this is the voice of my friend, this is the voice of my mother and father. What is this recognition? This recognition, they're all pieces of information by which you can identify something. और ये सारा जो इंफॉर्मेशन है एक पर्टिकुलर इंसान के बारे में जो उनको बनाता है, उनके वॉइस का पिच, उनका फेशियल अपीयरेंस, उनके बाल, उनके चाल, everything is an information which is towards only that individual. It is his book, his code, his DNA, and it is individual and unique. So, because he has that code, he will walk like that. Somebody is walking with a wide gait, somebody is walking with a hip sway, somebody is walking with a limp. So, why are so many different? Every person has a different walk. How come? Why don't all of us have the same type of walk? This is what a behavior is. You will behave according to the genes you have inherited. You will often see that a father and son will have similar walk. You can recognize their father son from the back also. This is what I'm saying. When you inherit those genes, you will have those qualities. And each individual quality is unique to the person, which makes them identifiable. And these things is something you cannot change. हम कहते हैं ना, we are born with this. So these are the Dhrida karmas. That's why we call them Dhrida karmas, because you have to walk in that way only on this planet when you're born for this lifetime. It's fixed. अगर इसको बदलना है तो आपको कॉन्शियसली बहुत एफर्ट्स डालना पड़ेगा, बहुत सारा कॉन्शियस एफर्ट करना पड़ेगा कि आप अपनी चाल भी बदलो. ट्राई एंड चेंज योर वॉक, सी हाउ डिफिकल्ट इट इज. We usually see these models doing catwalk and learning it, right? So it's a learned behavior, but they are not walking like that in public. They're only walking like that in stage, because that's a acquired or changeable behavior that is very easy, and it is not carried over from this to the next lifetime so easily. If it is carried over, it will not be seen in the next generation. It will be seen some generations down the line. Usually in first generation grandchildren. तभी हम बोलते हैं कि usually children are more representative of their grandparents rather than their parents. So the second part इसमें जो मैंने दिया है, so the living organism is constantly learning from this interaction with the environment. And this learning becomes a part of the genetic record, and it is becoming a part of us, every experience. When we actually shut down our eyes and we actually introspect, ki, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I having this constant headache? Why am I so stressed out? That is the time when we are understanding or trying to learn who we are. We are trying to understand the script of DNA that we have within inside, and what we call introspection. So what happens is, when you are not interacting with the external environment, you're not constantly occupied in your mind with outside thing. That time when you are isolated and you're quiet, you get a chance to read your own book. And none of us read this book. That is the reason we don't understand how this body is functioning, what is the purpose, and why we need to read this book.
Yes.
If I ask you a question now, आप बताओगे, आप just tell me from your own understanding why you want to read this book.
For my internal self, you're saying?
Yeah, if I say कि आपको मैंने बोल दिया, you go do isolation and start, introspecting and learning. What will be the benefit for you just from this standpoint, from this, like आप इतने साल से यहाँ पे हो धरती पे, so many days you have spent interacting, learning, educating, doing so many things. At this point, if I ask you, you have to know about yourself. What would be the reason for you to know yourself?
I think I would want to improve myself, what mistakes I made. Maybe, the next time when I may not, I would want to, better myself as a person, maybe, or as a parent, you can say, as that's what I would think.
हाँ, तो ये सारे हमें बताए गए हैं ऐसे करने के लिए, है ना? All these Jagat Gurus, so-called gurus who have come, they have told us you do this because you should improve yourself, you this, that, which means that you are seeing some shortness or some shortcoming in yourself, which means you're not so happy with your current situation as it is. But this is my question. Why should you be unhappy? You have everything that you possibly could want, materially, happiness wise, everything you want, but you are still not that content. What is the possible reason that you want to introspect now?
I'm not sure, but I would say maybe there are some standards set by the society for me. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you feel there is some religious background which is talking, because they say, oh, at this time you should start getting spiritual. But when those norms were put, they never told you what is this spirituality and why the hell you need it now. So it is sold as some commodity जहां से आपको कोई खुशी मिलेगी इसको पढ़ के अब. That is not the right concept or a notion. That should not be the reason why you want to do this. The reason is that you in your body are feeling some incompleteness. It is not unhappiness, it is not related to material world, but you are feeling, I have everything, yet I feel something is missing. I am not fulfilled. That is the word. So, what is this fulfillment? Where will it be? When I become the chair of a department, when I become a number one, whatever, millionaire, or the topmost actor, or the number one sportsman, we all think that material goals ka jo accomplishment hai will keep us going till that point, and then when we reach there, we are fulfilled. Unfortunately, if a person reaches there is the most unfulfilled person. They are unhappy even after all that. So fulfillment is something which will not happen on the material plane. The fulfillment which you are looking for and that information you're looking for is the knowledge of self, which only happens with introspection. The reason you're looking for that knowledge of self is at this point your body is going through a lot of things where you feel not so healthy, not so powerful, not so bright and energetic like you were in your teens and 20s. So you are questioning, is there something else? That is the purpose of stepping into something called spirituality, where you are trying to understand, okay, I have lived for so long, what is my place and what is all this about? You are also getting aware of your own ancestors and all. You are looking at life, the good and the bad part. People are being born, people are dying, and then you are asking all this question, what is going on and why is this in this form only? Why can't somebody be living forever? Why can't I be young forever? So the introspection or interaction with self or environment has always got a trigger. So when the time is right, that moment will come to you on its own. You can't go running behind that moment. So they say whenever Mother Nature is ready, she will come to you. You may run behind her or try to go or try and force this on yourself, but you still will not be able to achieve it till the time comes. So
Okay.
time is of
So
a great essence.
I get it. But who decides this time, Archana?
This is something which is beyond the realm of our understanding. The
Yeah.
time is decided by Mother Nature herself. Now,
Mm.
who is this Mother Nature? We keep talking about Mother Nature, Mother Nature. We are talking. So, what is this and what is this nature consisting of? So, the nature or environment is everything that we see from the ground of this earth, below the earth, till the end of universe. That is the description of nature according to the old texts. Every text you can go through, any religious text, whether it's Hindu, Christian, Muslim, everybody talks of the universe. It's universally accepted. Everybody accepts the nature is the whole universe.
Okay, I get it. Yes. Okay, please
There
go.
is no controversy or any fight in that. At least that one point everybody agrees. And whenever nature finds a point in time that something needs to be done, nature will send special type of packages on the planet to get her work done. These packages, we unfortunately we mistake them for some kind of religious bringing, or like, start of religion, some prophet, this that and all, and we start following them instead of trying to find our own genetic book and finding out the purpose of our life. That is the reason we have following or a groupism which starts after some great person has been born. Now we'll ask the question, why are some people great and some people not? Why they become the prophets, or they become, somebody who is so important, so well known, and people should follow them? ये प्रश्न कभी आपने पूछा है कि why should people follow, like, why are people worshipping Krishna or Rama or, Jesus or fair prophet, whatever? The reason why they have all these idols.
I
So,
know, yeah, you're right. I mean, yes, never
huh?
asked.
So why are they different from us? मेरा एक ही ऑब्जर्वेशन है इनके बारे में.
Mhm.
All of them universally have told you have to follow nature. They never defied anything about nature. Every text has told you a way of living, a way of fasting, a way of eating, and a way of family. Every text, religious text, has these codes of life. Now you should ask why you should have all these codes of life. Why can't we be like, free and do whatever we want?
Yeah, I don't know because that will make
They, all those texts, all those people observed nature, and they said we have to be in line with nature, we have to be in equilibrium and accept everything that is coming to us without any feelings, which is the hardest thing. That is why they are different from us. We are always questioning, मेरे साथ ऐसे क्यों हुआ, मेरे पास ये क्यों आया, मेरे को वो चाहिए था, उसके पास वो आ गया, मेरे पास नहीं आया. So you are always in conflict. You are not in equilibrium with the environment. So when you are against everything, stress is created in your body. Moment stress is created in your body, your health starts going down. First thing is your intelligence goes down. So the way you interact with your external environment, which is your behavior, becomes against nature. You start having all your things, anger, jealousy, hatred, greed, and all these come from unsatisfaction or dissatisfaction, right?
yes,
So
yes, I agree.
all the things they have told is just to accept fate as it is. Simple thing. How hard is that to follow? It is the hardest thing to follow. We, none of us want to accept fate. We always want something else, something better and bigger. That what we experience as positive and negative is something which will become a part of our DNA, and our children, grandchildren will get to experience it. Same situation comes, they will react the same way. This is how behavior becomes a part of genetics. It becomes a part of nature. When it is not in line with nature, that will face difficulties or self hatred or durbhagya. That's what it's called. This is same for everybody,
Mhm.
every human being, whichever religion, whatever are his laws, if he doesn't follow, he will face misfortune. So one has to know why they are particular house, particular city, particular family, why you are born into your family and I'm born into my family. Why was I not born in your house and you not born in my house? So because you were supposed to experience those type of genetical outcomes which you have experienced, on which your life has been going on till now. I have experienced mine. So even though we have like similar body and everything working the same way, my kidney, your kidney is probably working exactly the same way. Cells में कोई फर्क नहीं है. Yet our place, our position, and our experiences are very, very different. So that is how nature is working through each one of us. तो ये स्लाइड हो गया. आगे आपको कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो पूछ लीजिए, नहीं तो I'll
नहीं,
go to-
मैंने I asked my questions. अब नेक्स्ट स्लाइड कर लेते हैं क्योंकि we are running out of time.
अच्छा ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, फिर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड हम नेक्स्ट टॉक में कर लेते हैं. लगता है
नहीं,
एक स्लाइड ही एक आधे घंटे का हो रहा है.
हाँ नहीं, ये वाली स्लाइड नेक्स्ट स्लाइड भी कर लेते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत करते हैं, सो दैट वी लीव समवेयर वेयर पीपल मे हैव क्वेश्चंस. वहां पे छोड़ देंगे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. या
ठीक है, तो इस पहले स्लाइड में ना मैंने थोड़ा वो कलर मार्किंग किया था. सो आई सेड दैट द लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म इज इंटरैक्टिंग विद द एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट, और मैंने ये इंटरैक्शन रेड में इसलिए किया था क्योंकि ये जो है इंटरैक्शन, ये धर्मा है, which means
ओके.
that book is telling you next time when you eat food you will feel happy like this, or you will choose to eat sweets only because you like sweets. This is a genetic information that you are carrying, and that is your dharma. So some people will love sweets, some people don't love sweets, some people like karela, some people don't like karela, right? So these are inbuilt in our DNA, and that is what dharma is. So when it is built in your DNA, your behavior and your action will be without thought. For example, you see some person who is actually very in distress, wants help, you will run and go help to him. Sometimes you see somebody who is in that situation, you might think, hesitate, and you may say, oh, I'm not going to put myself in danger and walk away. Why these two different reactions by two different people? Because they have different dharma genes inside them. This dharma is the way your forefathers have reacted to the same situation. So every lifetime you come and experience that situation, you will be repeating it. So this is built into your DNA. And usually you get your dharma from your father and mother, which is simply saying you inherit your genes from your mother and father. Say, for example, you have your many people in your generations have been waking up at 4 o'clock to do prayers. Whether you want it or not, you will wake up at 4 o'clock. You won't know why, but that clock will be still working inside you. Whether you do prayers now or not is different, but you will still wake up at that time without you knowing.
I agree.
So how this happens is the biological clock is genetic. It is calibrated with nature and time. When the sun rises, when the sun sets. So a lot of people in your lineage have followed that, especially in the last 7 generations. That clock will be very active in you, even though you're not following it now. So it will be easier for you to follow that if you choose to do that down the line. But for somebody who has never had this clock inbuilt, they suddenly want to start up at 4 o'clock and start praying. They'll have to do mountainous or humongous efforts to even get that activity inside their body. Getting up at 4 o'clock will be like a curse for them. So it is not there in their dharma. Their clock is probably different. They may want to get up at 8 or 9 in the morning. They say that they cannot even function if they wake before that. These are simple observations.
True, true.
So that is the reason why people maintain the cultural continuity in their home. In any part of the world, if you observe, they will always stress and they will want that this particular cultural thing be alive in the next generation. And there is no judgment on it कि ये ठीक है और ये ठीक नहीं है. Everything that is there, you have to respect it because it is there for a reason for you. If it is against nature, you will face difficulties and you will have no choice but to discard it at some point in time. For
Yeah.
example, there is a story about this father who's a thief. The son is a thief, and his son also has to earn a living only by being a thief, because there is no other profession that is working for them, because this has become a part of their behavior. This is the only way they can survive. So many generations have been doing it. Now it has become a part of their life. However, stealing is not an acceptable behavior. It is not in line with nature nor with the natural man-made world. If you steal, you'll get caught sometime. So this type of a behavior cannot continue for a long time. Not in one lifetime, not forget about many lifetimes. In one lifetime only, he'll get caught sometime and he'll have to pay the price for it. So things like that, which are not in line with the rules of nature or society, they will be discarded or shed out very soon, because the consequences are there. Same type, you see people who are like taking somebody else's life and all. They must have had in previous generation also somebody doing it. Now they are doing it, but they get caught and they have to pay a heavy price for it because it's not in line with nature. Nature never allows you to take somebody's life or harm some other organism. Forget about taking life. It is against the rules of nature.
Yes, Archana, I think we'll leave it here only, and this will be part one of our conversation. And second part next Friday, same time, we'll do.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Kiran.
Thank you, Archana, for giving your time, and these slides, they are very helpful. And I think people will learn a lot from these. This is something to treasure. So I'll upload them on YouTube and I'll send you the links, and we can open it for public if they want to send their comments, or if they want something to be seen, we'll ask them. Yeah. Thank you, Archana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay then. Bye-bye.